Hi there! Today I'm going to start working on the mast step. As you saw me last time, I measured out the sail plan to order the sails. And now when that is done, I'm continuing on the same track. So let's see what to do for a mast step. As you saw last time, I'm planning on having the mast about here. The reason because I want to place the mast here is that it gets roughly equal distance to the front and to the back, so the foresail and the mainsail can have sort of a symmetrical look and not be very different from each other. This part of the hull, as I have the hatch here and the hatch support, this change in the hull here actually makes this much more rigid than on other places on the hull. So in front or behind the hatch is actually a rather good location in order not to need strengthening the hull so much. Still, this part of the hull I will need to strengthen from below to hold the mast or to support the mast in a good way. Also, as this part is a little bit elevated compared to the hatch, it doesn't steal so much of the space that is usable for package inside the hatch. If I place a support below the deck here, as long as I stay roughly equal to this level of this hatch support. So that's why I want to place the mast and the mast step here. I want to be able to set the mast in place while in the kayak on water. Thus, the mast base should look something like this. So you put the mast here by threading it onto this bolt, and then you can raise it in place like that, and then this together with the bolt will hold it in place in forward. This side will hold it in place from this side, and the whole part here will hold it in place from turning that side, and the back plate will hold it in place while going this way. Of course, you don't want to break the kayak, so this deck support needs to be plenty stronger than the rest. And that's the plan. Let's start. Here Mickey Mouse explains. I measure out the plywood I need. For this mast support I use 2 layers of 4mm plywood. I want the support to be strong, but not stronger than a kayak. If the structure breaks, I want it to break in parts that are easier to repair than the actual kayak. I draw all the pieces on the board, using the sketch as a blueprint, before I start cutting. I try to work as quickly as possible in order not to bore anybody. saw, I get the rounding I want. Still some trimming is needed. When happy, I start dry fitting the pieces. Before applying epoxy. Here I strike on plenty of thickened epoxy on the surfaces. I glue the plywood pieces together. And hold them in place with tape and clamps. The angled irons will strengthening the short bond. I need some glass in the joining to compensate for the iron's thickness. The day after I can remove the tape and the clamp. A knife is needed to remove parts of the tape. Now I can put on glass on the sides. This will make the structure watertight and also a bit stronger. The inside of the structure gets glassed first. I clean cut the edges in between the laminations. I make sure that the mast will fit. And cut off a piece. Before I laminate the next piece. Using clamps, it is possible to laminate around the 90 degrees outside corner. The day after I can remove the clamps. Clean cut the edges. Then the next piece. Now a test fit with the mast. The mast is possible to drop, so I can mark out where to place the pin and drill a 2 large hole, 10 mm. Prepare glass. Fill the hole and laminate the glass. More glass. The day after I can drill the hole. And place an 8 mm bolt in it. some test fitting before gluing the bolt in place. And some more lamination. The last step, first some test fitting. Carefully measure where to drill. Drill a small hole to check the lineup. Looks okay. Now the 8mm drill. It works. Not yet so pretty, but after some sanding and paint it will do. But that will be in a later episode. Thank you for watching. See you next time.